In this video, I'm going to be talking about plotting points and function notation. First, I'm just going to look at plotting points. This is something like you've already seen before. Notice, though, that our ordered pairs come in x, y coordinates. X is before y in the alphabet, so in your ordered pairs, x is going to happen before the y's. So looking at the first one, this says x is 2 and y is 4. So x is positive 2 here, and y is positive 4 here, so I kind of just go where they meet. You can also look at this as over 2, up 4. So over 1, 2, up 4, and there's your point for that. Looking at the second one, we have negative 3, 7. We move negative 3 in the x direction, up 7, there's that point. For the third point, we have 6, negative 2, so positive 6 in the x direction, negative 2 in the y direction, there's a point there. And for the last point, I have negative 1, negative 8, so I have negative 1 and negative 8. Okay, for these, it may also ask you which quadrant we are in. Quadrant, basically if you think of a quad-wheeler, a four-wheeler, there are 4 different parts. So quadrant, let me finish spelling that. Okay, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4 quadrants, and it kind of makes a C when you look at it. So there's kind of like this big C, and it just goes around that way. So that this is quadrant 1, we have quadrant 2, we have quadrant 3, and we have quadrant 4. So for the first point, we are in quadrant 1, so that would be quadrant 1. The second point is actually in quadrant 2. The third point is blue, so we are in quadrant 4. And the last point is the black one, which is down here, which is in quadrant 3. If there's a point on the y or x axis, anywhere on it at all you would say is it's on that axis, whatever axis it is. Function notation is kind of weird. This is going to be brand new for you guys. We have this weird f of x thing or t of x thing. I'm going to tell you, it doesn't really matter what the letter is in front of x or whatever it is. Makes no difference. All that is like a name. It's telling me this function is f of x or this function is t of x, just like my name is Mr. Pike or your name is George or whatever it may be. Okay, it defines who you are, so it defines what the function is. Even though they're all functions and we're all people, we have different names, so they have different names. So you may see an example where it tells you it is looking for f of 2. What this means is you're going to look at your f function and see how it has a 2 instead of an x. So in order to find what f of 2 is, what it equals, you're going to replace x with 2 every time it happens in your function. So in this case, I only have that part, so I'm only replacing 2 for that x. The left side of this thing is not going to change. This basically means what is y when x is 2. It just helps us define it and makes it easier to pick out an ordered pair from our function. So if this doesn't change, f of 2, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1. F of 2 is equal to 5. You would leave it just like that. That is not f times 2, it is f of 2. We plugged in 2 for x. Just like we have f of x, it's just telling us that x is 2. So the ordered pair of this is 2, 5. I can determine that by looking at just this part right here. I don't have to go back and see, oh, I plugged in 2 for x, or I can just pull it out right there. Makes it a little bit easier, saves us some time. Okay, you might also have something that is like t of negative 1. Okay, now I'm not going to look at the f. This is defined by t, so I'm going to look at my function with the t. Only going to look at the function with my t. So t of negative 1, I put in a negative 1 for x, so I'm going to put in a negative 1 wherever I see an x. So 3 of negative 1 squared minus 1. Negative 1 squared is 1, so 3 times 1 minus 1. 3 times 1 is 3 minus 1, which is 2. this side stays the same the entire way down. So t of negative 1 equals 2. If you need to, if it asks you to, you can pull out your ordered pair as negative 1, 2. Another type of problem you're going to see in this section is find the value of x when, if g of x is 3x minus 4, when g of x equals 8. Notice the entire g of x. This isn't just x equals 8, this is g of x equals 8. So this entire thing right here, the g of x is 8. So I can say 8 equals 3x minus 4, and then it's just a matter of solving for x. Then I can find x pretty easily. I can add 4 to both sides so that I have 12 equals 3x and divide by 3. So 4 equals x. If you want to, you can check this thing. You can go back and plug in x, and hopefully you'll get 8. So if you want to, you can say g of 4. Hopefully it's going to be 8, so I'll plug in 4 where I see an x, minus 4. Well, 3 times 4 is 12, minus 4. 12 minus 4 is 8, so g of 4 is 8. So there it checks out. It's good to go. That's the right answer. So I know that x is 4. Hopefully this video helps you out with your homework tonight or studying for your review. Thank you as always for watching.